Hello everybody, well I'm back. It's been a long winter. It's now April the 24th. I've got the bike back on the road. Just heading down the A2 today. Just going to nip down to Dover, take some photos down there, and just generally get out and about on the bike a little bit more. So the route we're going to take is down the A2. We're going to stick to as much of the old A2 as possible. So we're just heading through Sittingbourne there on the A2. Again, another old Roman road. You can see how straight it is. And when we get past Faversham, I'm going to come off the new A2, like the dual carriageway, and go down through Bolton Bridge and all that, down the old road, down towards Dover. So I'll catch you in a bit. So just coming up to Sittingbourne town centre, around the one-way system. This has all been redone over the last few years for the Spirit of Sittingbourne project, which, because of COVID, hasn't really got off the ground yet, but hopefully they're coming out of proper lockdown and it'll open up. So just ahead, you see that big building? That is the new cinema. So it's going to have 10 pin bowling in there, and some restaurants and bits and bobs, and Nando's, which would be quite nice because Sittingbourne really has never had anything like that for people to do. So hopefully it will be quite good. Right, well, as we're stuck, we are moving, so I shall keep recording. Off we go. So there's excuse me, Sittingbourne train station to the left. It's delightful. Nice historic building though. You compare that to like Rainham train station, which is about, I don't know, 5-6 miles up the tracks. They built like a new 1970s station there, and it's horrible. Well, it's quite a nice building. Got to say, it's nice to be back on the old bike. It's been a while. I got it serviced, MOT'd, and whatnot. I think it was last Wednesday. So it's just great to get the old girl back on the road. So sorted out the mirrors, so I've got some spaces for the mirrors so I can actually see behind me, which is good. Got that little wind deflector in front, which you can see. That's made a big difference, especially when I'm cruising down the motorway. And I raised the seat a little bit as well, and that made a big difference. And for when I'm doing long trips, I've got like a seat cushiony thing, like an inflatable seat cushion, which looks a bit pants, a bit wimpy, but I've got to say, makes a massive difference for my arse. So I haven't got it on today, but if I'm going long distances, I'll just stick it on. It's no hassle. Right, just coming out of Sittingbourne now, so I'll catch you in a bit. Right, so we're just coming into a place called Tenham, still in the A2, still very straight Roman road. So what do I know about Tenham? Well, it's the home of Fowler and Welch, or Welch, one of the two. They were like a haulage firm, so you probably see their trucks all over the country. What else do I know? Well, it's quite flat. It's got a train station. That's about it really. There's not a great deal to Tenham. It's one big long straight road. A few little housing estates either side. And that is about that. Frail people signs. Keep an eye for the old fogies. Don't want to run one over. going to be a disaster. So, blind company, insurance brokers, the post office. Some pubs, so hopefully they'll be open again now. At least the beer gardens are. So the George. Yeah. So it's your typical, what do you call it, a village? Sort of English village, I suppose so. All quite similar. Crispin's Fish Bar. So there's the station down there. It's an old pub. All roadworks. There's roadworks everywhere at the minute. Everywhere. I'll go all over the country, and wherever I go, there's roadworks. Nightmare. A couple of barrels in the back of that 4x4. They're going to be useful. Whiskey, perhaps. There's a little monument there for something or other. And there, ladies and gentlemen, that is Tenham. What can you say? Right, I'll catch you in a little bit. So just between Tenham and Faversham, I thought I'd stick the old camera on. Quite nice scenery around here. Oilseed rape to the right and left. Nice undulating topography. So it's very nice. So over the top of this hill, I want to go over the blind summit. Go down into a nice valley, so that's a nice view. So I shall keep the camera on, and hopefully any second now you'll see the nice view. There we are. So the road off to the right is down towards Doddington, which eventually will take you down towards, or south towards Maidstone. It's a lovely road actually. I'm not going to go down there today. The old car sticking its nose out, not sure what it is. Not sure what that was. I'm sure someone will know. And then back up the hill, out the valley, and then we just skirt round Faversham. So the A2 never actually runs, as far as I'm aware, never actually ran through the middle of Faversham. So it skirts the south, to the south of the town. So Faversham, yeah, it's off to the, more or less off to the left. So there we go. So I think actually this little place is called Ore, I think, O-R-E. It's just like a little village that's going to probably be swallowed up a little bit by expansion of the Faversham suburbs. Is it Ore? No, it's not. Perhaps that was Ore I've just been through, but this is Ospringe. Which reminds me, I must look out for a post box. I need to post my insurance direct debit form back to Swinton's. I've got my insurance, not bad little deal. It's 70 quid for the year, £7 a month. Hello. So this bike, Honda CBF 600, I picked it up for about £1.5 grand. Running costs, well, it depends how often I go out in it, but if you disregard fuel, tax and insurance, about £100 quid. something like that. Perhaps a bit more, perhaps 150, something in that region. And that's about it. So it's actually, once I've got it, it's quite a cheap bike. I was thinking about getting a different one, but I don't really go out in it enough to justify doing it. And I've got to say, well, it does pretty much everything I need it to do. I would potentially like something that would go a little bit off-road. We can never go off-road in this thing, but that's going to be like for 0.1% of the time I'm on it. So do I need a new one? Probably not. So I'll keep this for the time being. Right, anyway, that's my drivel, and I shall catch you later. Right, so just approaching Brenley Corner, where the M2 ends, and then you get the dual carriageway down to Dover, and that becomes the A2. And then if you take the second exit at the roundabout, that takes you down the A299 towards Thanet, Margate and Ramsgate and all that. Busy old roundabout. It's I think they're going to, well, I don't know, do something with it, but it does slow things down quite often. So there we go, lovely, on we go. Right, Dover A2, so I'll keep the outside lane, I think. Good, right, so we're going to peel off to the left here, and that takes us down onto the old A2 towards Dunkirk and Bolton. So off we go. Good, just me, no one behind me. Oh, there is now. It's a two-way road. Yeah, so you can always tell an old road, as I've said before, because it's got cat's eyes down the middle, and it's got pretty good lines in the road. Throwback arrows, all that sort of stuff. So you get a feel for back in the day. I think they built the dual carriageway in the 50s, I believe, or in the early 60s, something like that. You can imagine all the traffic going down to Dover along here. That must have been rammed back in the day. People go down to Dover to get the ferry to France and whatnot, and go on their nice holidays. It's a real romantic sort of era. Bolton under Blaine. So I did a video about this place at Christmas. It was freezing. After you. It's freezing, cold, dark. We're in the middle of lockdown again. I'd come here for my walk, my exercise. I think it might just been just beforehand. I can't quite remember, but it was. I've got to say, it was a real grim time. The winter of 2020-21 was just awful, really. At least the numbers of people with coronavirus seems to be coming down. There's not as many people dying. Busy today here, isn't it? And on days like this, you get a bit of hope. I wonder what's so busy. Probably everybody's gone to the beer gardens. You'd think in a motorbike I'd be able to get around all this traffic, but it would appear not. The Queen's Head pub. Very nice. Old phone box here, I don't know if you remember that one. So that's where it's like a library, got books and stuff in there. Community library. So I guess the idea is anybody can go down, pick up a book, read it, then put it back. Not a bad idea. Not sure the publishers would be too happy with that one, because they obviously want to make as much cold hard cash as possible. I prefer you to buy a hardback book, full price, brand new. So Bourne and the Blaines are just coming out now, and as we get up the hill here, just get around the bend a little bit, you'll see a great big hill. I don't know what it's called, Bolton Hill perhaps. So there it is, a big long straight hill. Cycled up there once, got absolutely knackered. Nice countryside down there. So it's funny, isn't it? Wherever you live, you can always take it for granted. You would never really go out into the countryside and sort of a good look around and think, well, you know what, this is actually quite a nice place. It's like riding along the old A2. Bolton, got lovely views to the left and right, it's nice woods, you know, it's all good stuff. And because we live so close to it, you never really think, oh, I'm going to go out and I'm going to explore. Which, you know what, perhaps I should. One behind us for company. He's coming up. Got to see these new mirrors are brilliant. So I can actually see behind me, which is an absolute must. I cannot stand not knowing what is going on behind me. Anyway, right, we're coming down towards the new A2. I've got no real option but to down it for a little bit. As soon as we can, I'll peel off again and head down towards Canterbury. Canterbury and Dover. And off we go. Well, I'll keep you online just for a little bit longer. I'll show you where we join up to the new A2. Get my arse right out, position to see and be seen. I can see them nice and early, and they can see me, hopefully. So yeah, so this the old A2 goes straight there, but we'll be going around to the right and then merging onto the new A2. So just the old visor down, drop a gear, around we go. Nice early indicator. On the gas, out to lane 1. So rattle down here for a little bit. Stretch your girl's legs. 65, 70. So you cruise along quite happily this speed on this bike, especially with the new sort of wind deflector. So I've got a Give You aftermarket windscreen. And I put this little wind reflector on top, and that's made all the difference. So I can just cruise along quite happily all day without having any problems. Anyway, I'll speak to you in a little bit. Right, so we just took the slip off here for Harble Down. So again, we're back on to the old A2. See the throwback arrows there, double white line systems and cat's eyes. which is always a good indication of an old major route. So always keep an eye out for them, and you can find your old major routes, which I want to do a series, or word series, or some videos on old roads. So the idea is I just want to go all over the country, and I want to film the old routes, a bit of nostalgia for where all the old traffic used to go. I always think it's a little bit sad, a little bit melancholy when you see an old road. You know, its importance has been stripped away from it. You know, you think this road, the A2, probably one of the most important roads in the country. You know, back in the 50s, this would have been full of lorries, full of you know, tourists, as we said before, all heading down to the coast. And all the businesses along the route, like cafes, pubs, all that sort of stuff used to probably make a roaring trade. Certainly back in the day, they didn't have drink drive laws, so I bet everybody was probably off their tits, driving around, stopping off for 4 or 5 pints en route to France. What could possibly go wrong? Again, another lovely little village, and this road basically takes us down to the A2, and not down to the A2, but down to, I don't know what it's called, that road down there, which will take us into Canterbury. We'll skirt around Canterbury and head out onto the, I think it's called the New Dover Road, and head down here. Let's catch you in a bit. So just going round to the left here. So this route here, this is the old A2. That is, I don't know, we've obviously bypassed it. But again, cat's eyes. The lines in the middle of the road. All good indications. Milepost there, look. You see that? It's a Canterbury on it. 1 mile or something like that. So that's interesting. Milestones. I like milestones for some bizarre reason. And, well, that's nice over there. Again, I'd like to do some series about milestones. I don't know if it's not a series, but I'll spot some new ones. Sadly, I looked at the website, our website for milestones, and it would appear that some people, I was going to say the F word there, but I'll try not to swear too much, I've gone and nicked them all. I mean, the cheek of it. It's probably some dude with a load of mile markers in his back garden. Outrageous. The old coach house. Look at that. Love old coach houses as well. There's another tour I want to do is up the A1 up to from London to Edinburgh, and do that over a number of days and stay in old coach houses en route. Perhaps pick out some of the most famous ones and stay in those. That'd be great fun. So I was heading back towards the main drag and down into the, no doubt, very busy Canterbury. I've got to see, I do try and avoid cities if I can. I find they're a bit of a pain in the arse. It's busy. Go on then, learn it. Get out of my way. Shield deer. Just come around. Typical. Come on up, Pinky Learner. Right, anyway, Canterbury, here we are. Again, I'll keep you. I'm going to run out of footage space at this rate, but I'll keep you turned on because there's some interesting stuff, obviously, because it's quite an interesting place. So, still at the top of that hedge is the cathedral. Don't know if you managed to pick it up a little bit earlier and might not see it now. So it's coming down towards the ring road, so it's going to take lane 2. Yeah, so off to the right there is the cathedral, and there's the river, I think it's called the Stour. And we go off to the right and you go past the city wall, which is quite interesting. So Canterbury, medieval town, has got the cathedral. It's where the Archbishop of Canterbury, I guess, does his stuff. It's very much like York. I was up in York the other day, though I wasn't there for very long. But it's got that feel, that medieval sort of churchy sort of feel to it. Definitely worth a visit if you happen to be down this way. So there's a bit of the old wall there, I think. There we go. Just through that little gap there, that bridge goes, that's the train station. And there's the wall. Pretty cool. We need to be going. Well, we'll take the new Dover Road, I think it's called, which is just straight ahead. It's quite busy, so let's go the old Dover Road. So we'll go up this way. This is the old Dover Road, so I'm not quite sure when this one dates to, but the new Dover Road, I've checked the maps, and that was built quite a long time ago. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to know when this one was built. So go here, we could go left. Should we go left? Depends what era we're interested in. So do we want the new Dover Road or the old Dover Road? That is the question. Well, we've got a little bit of time to think about it because the traffic lights are red. So I think the let's go for the old one because the new one looked quite busy. It's up there. So off we go. So here it's going over the train tracks. See that? Takes you down towards Dover. You've also got Canterbury cricket ground around here somewhere. Might be off to the left somewhere. But that being said, it might be off to the right. I don't know, it's around here somewhere. So I'm probably running out of space on the SD card. I have ordered another one today, now 64 gig one. So hopefully this summer I can be quite organised and get a good system going for doing these videos. I do like doing them, but I struggle with time sometimes, and I struggle with organisation. So unless it's all organised, it's become such a ball ache that I just think, oh, fuck it, can't be asked. And then nothing gets done, so I just need to come up with a decent system to get these videos done, so it's not too much hassle. So I cleared out a load of space on my hard drives yesterday, so when I get in today, download them all, put them in a file, and then look into sort of editing them and coming up with a good system for that. It's Canterbury Hospital to the right. I think, so they think they're going to make a massive big new hospital. It might be Canterbury, I'm not sure. But the old one here and some of the other hospitals around the county are going to go. So more work. Work. Right, so just coming up to join up with the new Dover Road. And we'll be heading off to the right. Park and ride there. Is that old Dover Road? Yeah, it was right. New Dover Road. Can't be asked. Right. I'll catch you in a little bit. I'm just heading out of Canterbury. Right, so we're a bit high up here. I've got quite a big crosswind. I hate crosswinds. But anyway, this is the current A2. Motherfucker. Pardon my French. And we're heading up to what we call the Liddon Crossroads. So I'm just going to get across to lane 2 because we're coming off at the next set of lights, I think it is. And the road peels off down towards Liddon and into Dover, sort of along a valley. And the current A2, this one we're on, carries on more towards the east of Dover. So there we go. So Liddon Temple Ewell. So that's where we want. Dodgy old junction, there's quite a few accidents here over the years. I remember coming down here when I was, I don't know, must have been 16 years old, something like that, 16, 17, on a trip with my technical college. We went to Amsterdam and the bus stopped just over there and fueled up. I'll never forget that. Interesting trip, to say the least. So you can imagine, 16-year-old in Amsterdam with his mates. Good old days. Good old days. Right, so here we go. So again, so this is quite an interesting little road because it is dual carriageway. I'm not sure when they dualed it. Probably because I bet you any money it was rammed full of lorries and stuff coming up here and it was causing loads of delays, and so they probably dualed it for that reason. I just wonder if this is the new bit of road or the road to the right is a new bit of road, if that makes sense. Usually you can tell by the alignment. The more bendy the road, the more likely it is to be the old bit of road. So I'm essentially I might have to have a look at the map when I get in. Just compare them. So road narrows from both sides. Two-way traffic. So just merging back to the single road. So I'm not sure how much footage time I've got left or how much battery I've got left, but hopefully we've got enough to get us down into Dover. So we're not too far now. Just heading down towards Lytton and River. Another lovely village, little valley. Yeah. So what do we know about Lytton? Well, it's got a race circuit for like rally driving and stuff like that. It's got a pub called the Lytton Bell. It's got a pond with no water in it. Again, it's another tiny little sort of village. Not a great deal to it, but quite pretty, I guess. Got a bus stop, so there's a bus route on there. So you can get down to Dover to get your shopping. So 13.2 degrees according to my thermometer. So I've got to say I feel quite comfortable. I don't feel cold. I've got my the lining in my jacket and my trousers. So yeah, I'm not cold at all, which is good. It's coming up to the end of April, so hopefully the temperature will keep going up. Get out of the bike more, take the layers off, enjoy the roads and the weather. Down the hill we go. Okay, another lovely view. These are I think the South Downs. So generally you think of Kent, you think, oh, it's so flat, you know. But when you come down to here, or the North or the South Downs, it does get quite hilly and quite, you know, fairly spectacular some places. So that was Lytton. So the next little place we're probably coming to is a little village called River, and that more or less joins on with like Dover. They were sort of expanded to an absorbed river. So probably got a railway to the left there, I would have thought, judging by the road. Usually when you get a road next to a railway bridge, you get these chicanes, very distinctive. So it's always worth remembering that when you see a railway, probably going to go under it, and it's probably going to be a chicane. Nothing behind me at the minute. Oh, it's good. Ugh. So the road surface is coming apart a little bit. It's quite grippy, no gravel, but we've seen better days. Can't imagine they do much with it. Spend all their money on the major routes. But yeah, so here we are heading down the last little stretch of Temple Ewell into Dover. Again, Dover is a pretty hilly place as well. Got the castle, which is right off the hill. But as you can see, you know, you're going to get fit if you live here. You walk up and down all these hills. Getting some lovely houses. Architecture. Get all these big places. Must be worth an absolute fortune. Just don't build houses like that anymore, do they? They all look generically the same. They're all the same sort of. What colour is it? Sort of red. Not sort of sandstony red. All the same colour. They must have got a deal on bricks or something. They're all the same colour. They're all the same sort of shape. And a lot of flats, and I don't know, just a bit boring. Yeah, like this one goes to the right. Just a bit boring. So we've got this little roundabout. If we took the left, it takes us up towards Whitfield and back up to the A2, but we're not. We're going to take the second exit pretty much off at 12 o'clock. Alright, nice little stretch. So who's going to be the first person to see the sea? No? That's what we used to do when I was a kid, in the car, my folks, my sister. Who's going to see the sea first? I can't remember if we got a prize, probably not. Welcome to Dover, in the White Cliffs County. Lovely. It's like a rat. Look at this twat flying past us. What's wrong with some people? I've been to a lot of crashes in my time involving motorbikes, and I have to say, majority of the times it was the rider's fault. People were just going too quick. Slow down, enjoy the scenery, enjoy the riding. You know, you rush around enough at work, you know, just enjoy your riding, chill out, don't go too quick. You go too quick, you're never going to see anything. You know what I mean? Anyway, I've still not seen the sea. I think that road to the right takes you down to river. Yeah, river to the right. It's a nice little place. Funny enough, I think there's a river in river. I don't know if the river's called River. Is it the River? You never know. Other railway there. That's the line that takes you off towards Deal, up the East Kent coast. Yeah, I think it is. And we're just descending down into Dover. So the alignment of the old A2, I'm not quite sure because where it goes, because Dover, certainly this part of town is made up of a massive sort of one-way system. We'll be going straight on, and the traffic coming towards us is coming from sort of the town centre. So I think the old A2 is probably off to the right, and they've made a sort of a big one-way system. Paper mill or houses probably. A bit busier. There's a post box, but unfortunately I can't stop. I must post a letter. Which I'll do when I find a slightly easier post box to stop at. So 14.7 degrees. Contact there with the van driver. Ooh. So on the top of the hill there, you can see Dover Castle. That's well worth a visit. See, really old. And there's loads of tunnels under there from various wars. There's really interesting sort of Second World War sort of tunnels. Where they had like a air raid shelter and stuff, and I think there was a nuclear bunker there as well, if I remember rightly. Anyway, still haven't seen the sea. So when we do get down to the seafront, I'm going to pull into the marine parade, I think it is. Get off and have a bit of a look around. Might go for a bit of a wander, you never know. So round to the right. So I wonder if there's any cruise ships there. So, oops. Must get some more practice on this bloody bike. So there was a Disney cruise ship moored there, because obviously because of the coronavirus, there's no cruising. So all along the south of the country, there's been loads of cruise ships moored up down Weymouth and whatnot. Southampton, Tilbury. There's been loads in Tilbury. But Dover had like the Disney cruise ship, which I've got to say looked pretty cool. So I wonder if it's still there. Off we go, that's better. Right. Shops. So I think the town centre is more or less off to the right. And we just follow the road ahead. It takes us down towards the port area. So follow this one. Because we need to turn right. Up there's the castle. The flag is flying. Merc there, eager beaver. Keep an eye out for him. Or her. You never know. Who's driving? So round to the right. There's the town centre up there. So another couple of sets of lights, turning right, and then we'll be heading to Marine Parade. So there she is, the old beast. So guess what? Got to about 5 minutes from the seafront and I run out of memory on my memory card. Typical. Oh, there we go. So this is Marine Parade in Dover. Tide is in. Just go for a little wander down to the waterfront there. So to the left, over there, is the port of Dover. That's where all the ferries and stuff come in and go off to France. There in the distance is the Disney cruise ship. You can get quite a lot of cruises from Dover. They generally, well, they do all go from like the western side of the port. And then off to the right, you've got, they've done loads of work and stuff on the marina, and we've got bulk gravel and stuff getting delivered over there as well, which is quite cool. There we go, destination complete. Welcome to Dover. So the water looks quite nice, clear. Tide is in. Very nice, very peaceful. And that is that. Till next time, folks, I'll catch you later.